You turn my mourning into dancing. Your love changes There's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes every. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dance. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing. 'Cause your love changes everything. Your love changes everything. Oh, there's something about your love. Something about your love changes everything in my body. Oh, something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. It changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. Changes everything. Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything. You turn my mourning into dancing. 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 Something about your love. Something about your love changes everything.
Morning, Rooted Men. Great to be with you this morning. Not used to getting up so early. I see we have a few people with us. Not much, but one is all we need. There's Ken Gooch. Good morning, Ken Gooch. Nice to see you. And then we have Chuck B. And this guy here. He's nothing but trouble. Anyway, we get three of us, and we'll make the best of it, right? Oh, quick reminder. Saturday's men's breakfast that we normally have at Mario's this week, we got a special invitation. Rob Longo has been joining us at Mario's every week for about the last 7 months. Been a while. But he started coming because he saw something for a men's Bible study on Saturday. So he said, hey, I'm going to go to that. It's kind of a casual thing. We meet at 8. Some people there at 7, but we meet at 8. That's the scheduled time, and we have breakfast. And then about 8:30, we will start just a light devotional. We've been doing Bible study over the last few months, going through the 4 J's right now: Jacob, Joseph, Job, and Jesus. Right now, we're in Joseph. We finished Jacob last week, and it's been cool looking at the life of Jacob and seeing how he lived and the things he did. And then now we're into Joseph, who you can see early in his life was very blessed by God. And so that's on Saturday. But this Saturday, we're doing something a little different. We're all going to meet over at Lake Point because they gave us a special. We were invited by Rob to come join him. And so we thought it might be fun to do a little road trip on a Saturday, something a little, mix it up. And while I was yammering on, I see Bert showed up. Good morning, Bert. And Chris Conley. I hope everything's going well with you, Chris. We needed you there Thursday night, man. No, we didn't. I'm just kidding. But no, it's you would tell when people are missing, it's a hole in the room, and it's nice to have you there. I think that's everybody, but that's pretty good, I think, don't you? Anyway, today's verses are from Proverbs 24. We're going to do 13 through 18, but the way these are split up, they're split up into groups of 2, which is really convenient since there's 2 in each one, and they give them a name. And they're just like saying 1, saying 2, saying 3. I think these are like saying 12 or 7 or 8. Anyway, but it has nothing to do with the scripture. It's just kind of grouped into sayings. Saying 26 is Proverbs 13 and 14. And this one's pretty simple, but it's kind of cool. It says, "Eat honey, my son, for it is good. Honey from the comb is sweet to your taste." Everybody knows how good honey is, right? Know also that the wisdom is like honey. For you, if you find it there, it's a future hope for you. And if your hope will not be cut off. All right. When you're hungry and you want something sweet, honey's is great. Who doesn't love honey on their biscuits? I mean, or a lot of people use it as a dip. I used to mix it with my apple cider vinegar to keep me from choking to death. It's your body will crave it. It's something it's like you'll actually, your stomach will growl for it. But what Solomon's trying to say here is he's using honey as the thing that we would recognize in our daily lives, as the thing that you crave. And he's basically saying, as we crave honey, Solomon tells us we should crave wisdom the same way. We should be hungry for wisdom. It should make our stomach growl, because there's hope. It's where our future hope is. And unlike honey, it never runs out. And then we go to saying 27, and it says, "Do not lurk like a thief in the night." I'm sorry. I just made that up. I started reading that. I just looked away and started talking. "Do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. Do not plunder their dwellings, for through the righteous fall 7 times. Oh, I'm sorry. For though the righteous fall 7 times, they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. Do not lurk like a thief near the house of the righteous. We understand that there's someone out there already. There's someone in our lives who plots against us, who plots against the righteous. He lurks in the darkness, and he looks for a chance to break in. He marks the lonely, the hearted, the brokenhearted, the sick. He's got those people marked already. He knows that it's just wait for the opportunity. He speaks lies into their brokenness. Those lies will make people doubt or act out. His efforts today are still as active as they were way back in the Bible, if you haven't figured out who I'm talking about. Jesus faced him in the desert. But it says that the devil waited till he hadn't ate for 40 days. So he picked him at his weakest point. And he failed. Because he was Jesus. Peter. We look at Peter and think, here's a fisherman and a guy that's gifted for leading, but not well educated, and just an average guy. When he was on trial, when Jesus was on trial, Peter denied Jesus. He denied knowing him. After telling Jesus he would die for him, he literally denied him because of a servant girl. It's funny. And I think to me, didn't Peter remember the pool of Siloam? Didn't Peter remember the catch of fish? How about when he was standing on the Mount of Transfiguration and he saw what he saw? Did he forget that? He watched Lazarus walk out of a tomb. He saw all the miracles. And yet the enemy found a crack. And Peter at that moment doubted and was afraid. Never sell short how good a liar this guy is, folks. He can twist and turn our every little weakness and insecurity. It's not easy. And then we go to Sayings 28, verse 17 and 18. Do not gloat when your enemy falls. When they stumble, do not let your heart rejoice. Or the Lord will see and disapprove, and will turn his wrath away from them. This might be a good lesson for the people in today's politics. So many people will be unjustifiably angry at a person for the way they vote. So many people will hate somebody because of their politics. Hate. They may never have even met each other or never even shared a word, and yet there's venom and hate spewed toward a person. I think we can do better than that. But then I look at road rage. I mean, I was driving to a golf outing on Sunday, and there's a section down on 75 near 12 Mile, and there was road rage signs on the side of the road at a construction zone. And it said, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's gotten so bad now they're put up signs to talk people out of it. There's videos on YouTube of drivers, they call it instant karma, because they're rejoicing in the fact that whoever irritated them got caught or crashed. And I wonder sometimes as a society where we fail. How about religion? How many religion? The Catholics won't talk to the Lutherans won't talk to the Methodists. Hopefully the Seventh-day Adventists will talk to the Lutherans. But let us not forget, it wasn't the Romans that crucified Jesus. Technically, they got credit for it. But it was the church that worked so hard. The church that worked so hard to have him killed. Sometimes we're not any better than the rest of them, and it's a good thing to remember. And then personal offenses, just little things. He said something that hurt my feelings. We've gotten so soft that I sometimes wonder if we can ever recover as a society. That when I was a kid, they said sticks and stones. That's what I was told when I was a kid and somebody said something mean to me. Just remember that, sticks and stones. Are we still teaching that lesson to our kids, or are we teaching them to be offended at a moment's notice? Again, Solomon has given us all this wisdom from today. I mean, if you look at it, every single one of these applied today just as much as they did to his time. 3,000 years of wisdom literally still works. That's how you know it's wisdom. That's how you know it's not a fad. It's not something that people have just picked up on. We think the problems are today's problems, of course, but in fact, they've been around since the beginning. Because we're human, we're flawed, we're weak. But we have this book to keep us in line. I appreciate everybody being here today. That's all I got for you. Oh, wait a minute. I see something. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to out you, man. I really didn't. I was just messing. Much respect. Much respect. Yeah, I can't hardly wait for you to be doing this. I pray all this, and I pray you've had a blessed day and blessed morning. Thank you for joining me. I didn't feel alone. May someone see Jesus in you today. Oh, you know what? I should have had all this stuff ready, but I didn't. So, have a firmly rooted day. God bless you. Come on.